Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Backpack Trader training room for Tuesday, April 6th, 2021. Good morning, Brett. Good morning, Miles. Thank you for, please do say hello. That's the only way I know who all is here in the mornings. Troy and I both miss that, being able to tell who's in the room. But jumping in this morning, see where we are. Yesterday, if you did trade, the markets were open. Good morning, Giancarlo. Things were moving rather slowly. Crude wasn't very helpful to us yesterday, and I really didn't follow that much else. But the pound Aussie was just going absolutely sideways. It was in one trade from like 2 a.m. until after I was stopped looking at the markets at 10. So it was obviously going nowhere, and crude didn't help me very much yesterday either. But starting this morning, our crude chart picks up a long at 25 seconds after 9 with our start time at 9 o'clock. Goes immediately through targets 1, 2, and 3, almost up to target 4, pulling back to a stop out just below target 2. One and done session. If you're trading 2 positions to targets 1 and 2, 36 ticks this morning. So $360 on single contract positions. Unleaded gas. This long trade got started early, so our basic trade plan is not to get in sync, but I don't think this one you'd been able to get in sync at our start time at 9 o'clock anyway. It was right at 9 o'clock, it was right at our entry, but at 9:01, we had a bar close. It looks like a tick or two above the entry, and it never came back anywhere below that to pick that trade up. So our first trade of the morning would have been the short trade here. That's a small trade, and given that just seems to be topping out a little bit, but that could very well be just a pause to digest the upward move. I would have waited for it to, after the initial, I would have waited for it to test the highs and come back down, which it did. So you definitely in that trade. Comes down and hits the 27 tick target 2, a small trade, but still a profitable trade. Target 2 and a small trailer, looks like 99.06 from 99.12 is the entry. So 6 ticks on the trailer, 27 on the target for 33, maybe $130, but a profitable session nonetheless. And if you just ate out of that trade completely, then you picked up a trade off of the 50 EMA that's gone to target 2 that'll be POQ. That's a much bigger trade, but that wouldn't be the system trade. The correct system trade would be this short. 70 ticks on target. So that's more like $300 trade. and trailing up at the moment. Nothing so far on the pound Aussie. It just seems to be drifting lower, although the moving averages are spreading apart. So it's showing that this might be a fairly strong move. We'll have to see. But so far, not getting a setup. Since our start time at 8:30 Eastern. The 1.5 point momentum bar on the Russell is in a pre-market long trade. We will look for a new setup there. And the YM is flat with all the moving average just crossing just a few bars ago. The 20 and the 50 crossing under the 200. So we'll have to see if that continues to go lower. It's coming back to test now. Yesterday ended up being a strong up day for the index markets, or at least for the Dow and the Nasdaq and the S&P. Yesterday morning, at least, the Russell was down fairly significantly. It was setting new session lows. Where the S&P was setting new session highs. So we don't kind of a mixed day yesterday, probably fairly light on the volume. Some places being on holiday yesterday, but most of the U.S. took holidays on Friday. About another 3+ minutes before market open. Yeah, 3 minutes to market open. And not much movement on any of our charts right at the moment. Soybeans seems to be stuck. I don't know. It's been on that seems to have been on that same tick for about 45 minutes. It appears I'm getting data, but for some reason, I'm suspicious of that. So I don't think that chart is actually running this morning. So the Russell is starting to move up a little bit. It's approaching its money management level on the pre-market trade. And hitting that, so definitely we'll be looking for the next setup, not even a possibility of getting in sync there. And the crossover filter filtered out a long trade on the YM, just a minute plus ahead of open. POQ on unleaded and crude. And it appears the pound Aussie might be bouncing just a bit. This could be the beginnings of setup. This was the second, would be the second bar. Have a swing, a possible exhaustion knots. We'll have to see. Okay, that's so. Soybeans pauses between 7:45 and 8:30. That would make sense because that's when it. The last tick was just before 8:45 on my chart, which is, of course, my chart is in Eastern time, but the exchange time for soybeans is Central time. It's traded out of Chicago. And there, I believe, is market open. No new setups there. There's soybeans coming back into the market. And it gets in sync with the early long trade. Triggering in before this on set up. So we should be in the early long trade. The Russell showing upward trajectory. And the YM still pretty well sideways. And soybeans heading down now. Those two setups are, and there's the setup. So soybeans, if you're trading one and done, that's you adjust for the stop and reverse, and would exit, and I would make that exit at 14.25 to hide it below the 50. Stop and reverse adjustment would take us to 25, and I would make the additional adjustment to 25.25, and I would make it to 25 even, and still be in the long trade. Short trade now set up on YM and just trade in. Set up at 348, money management 335, and target 333. 333 and 325. 333 is target 1, and that is our first objective on the 14 tick or 14-point momentum bar, 14 tick range bar. And soybeans did reverse at 14.25 even. Looking for money management at, that would actually go to 14.2350, give it for a minimum 6 ticks because of our adjustment. And there it is. Money management, if you're continuing to trade, if you're trading one and done, it's just a losing trade. The Russell picking up a short trade also. Entry at 71.7. That feels like a possible YM getting to money management. And stopping out at 47 for a single tick. Did we, and not quite, let's see, did we get to, yes, it looks like we did get to, yep, it got to target 1, so that actually would be a power of quitting on the YM. And a full stop out on the short on Russell. Soybeans hitting target 2 on the short. Trailer now at 14.25 even. Actually would be 14.24.75 because of our stop and reverse adjustment. Target 1 was too small, being only 5 ticks from our adjusted entry, so we would take 2 positions at target 2. And trying to work its way down to target 3. And another short on the Russell. Bang, bang. That one may have been, let's see, did that go through too fast to get into? $36.06. Yeah, to think 3 seconds bar to bar, and nope, that one definitely is not tradable. And it hit money management, so it's off the table. And looks like we're just about to get a setup on the pound Aussie. And there is a blue SMA short setup on the Russell, which is a valid trade for those trading the diamond level setups. That's not really the place that we normally use it. Stopping us out. But yeah, I was going to say we're about to get a long trade at 72.7, and that is one you definitely can get. I'd push it to 72.8, and then we are definitely in that. if we get an up close from here without going lower than that bar already has, we should get a setup on the pound Aussie at 81.32. That would be a long setup. And soybeans missing its target 3, but stopping out for about 4 ticks, it looks like. Yeah, 14.24. Possibly needing another trade if you took that trade to begin with, you're trading into the session. So we went 49.25. Let's see what our risk on that was. We lost 17, so that if you're trading 4 positions, that's 68. So we took 2 positions off, and we made a 3-tick adjustment. Target 2 was 11, so that's 22. We didn't get target 3. And stopped out for 4 each on the final 2 positions is 8. So we got 30 out of that. So we're actually still down about 38. So taking that just above the 200, 41, 14, 21, 25. And there's our setup on the pound Aussie at 81.32. And looks like that's the trade that's being called on trade today as well. One moment while I get my trade set up here. All right. And that was, we just peaked above the entry. It would be in that trade, it looks like. And that is where Trade Today has us. The Russell just going along sideways in the long trade. The YM did hit POQ. And our latest soybean short is taking heat. Soybeans bouncing off its 200 EMA. Slow part of the morning here. POQ one and dones on both crude and unleaded. This on the 9 o'clock sessions. One and done on the YM, hitting target one on the exactly, and stopping out for a single tick on the trailer. Pound Aussie in that kind of no man's land between the 20 and 50 20 SMA and the 50 EMA. But nothing moving very rapidly at the moment. Soybeans did stop out, and looks like it reversed to long right at the stop. The Russell's seeming to find support at the 50 EMA, but just not able to up with any energy at this point. Any questions this morning? Let's see, unleaded was done, so let's take a quick look at see what the euro yen is doing today. In a short, we had gone too far, so and that stopped out. So we're waiting for our next setup there. Movement and open, but now things seem to have slowed down. The Russell pushing down through its 50 EMA. Is it going to stay there? Actually, all we're watching at this point is the Russell and our two currencies. Everything else is, well, I say everything else. Soybeans is still negative. And we'll see if the 50 EMA, that is a counterpunch setup, by the way. That is the 5-tick or $1.25 momentum bar for TradeStation, or 1.25 point 5-tick range bar on NinjaTrader. Looks like the YM starting to make a positive move. The Russell testing the 50 again. And the pound Aussie coming back and testing our balance line. And the pound, it looks like it's trying to push lower. It's looking like a reaction move. If you didn't pick up the short trade and didn't get target one on the YM, this Second trade has hit target 1, so that will definitely be a POQ trade if you didn't get POQ on the first trade. Took that one a little while to develop, but all right. YM stop at 382 now. The Russell's still in the back and forth, making another try at getting up to money management. It looks like the support is still holding just below 2275. And the Russell probing above 2275. Testing moving averages again. Let's see if it can move up through session high at 75.9. So seeing support or seeing resistance is not a surprise. And there is money management on the long trade. Stop. Oops. And let the computer catch up here. There it is. Stop moves up to 73.9. Push the session high up to 76.9. Pushing through target 1. Looks like I'm buffering. May have to wait for me. I'm going to wait for the computer to catch up. And the Russell trade did stop out. All right. Now we may be back. Pound Aussie testing the session low and coming back up, but it's not, doesn't seem to be done yet. This is kind of like watching paint dry. Hybrid mode filtering out that short on the soybeans chart. And the 10 o'clock crude session now is in place. Short trade potentially at 60.29. Yeah, 60.29. And a long trade at 60.46. Short trade is canceled. Pound Aussie surviving by the skin of its teeth. Coming within 3 ticks of the stop. And target 1 achieved on the 5-tick crude, or on the 8-tick crude on that SMA trade, 10-tick target. So that will be a POQ trade. Stop at 47. Surviving. Well, let's see if it can go up through now. And stopping out at 47 on crude. So that is 11 ticks, but that is sufficient. That is a POQ for the session, the 10 o'clock session. Pound Aussie surviving by the skin of its teeth. And will it go back up now? Or will it ultimately go down and stop us out? Okay, the stop and reverse. That stop and reverse became valid on the soybeans for 1 bar. And then the trend indicator went back positive, so it's the stop and reverse comes off again. And another long trade on the Russell. This one can get to target. This one probably will get us positive. That'll be the last one I'll follow on that. Money management at 22.77 even. Target 1 is a valid. That's 33 ticks. Target 2 would be 51. And we did get an up closing bar on the Pound Aussie. So we did survive that particular bar that came within 3 ticks. 3/10 of a pip. I wouldn't be surprised if I didn't get stopped out as well, Don. I had some other issues that I didn't ended up not getting filled on that trade. So at the moment, I've got it getting in sync since it is still valid. When it gets that close, you never know what's going to happen with executions. The Russell did hit its target too. Stop at 74.7. Long trade on the Euro Yen filtered by the crossover filter. And the pound Aussie working up through the 20 SMA. If this trade can get up through the 50 EMA, it's actually got I would say it has a fairly good chance to succeed now. Showing a double bottom there. If it gets through the swing and it created between those that actually made the long setup and the 50, it's got a very good chance of succeeding. The Russell stop up to 75.9. And there's our magenta bar on the Euro Yen. So now we can get a long trade. Looks like the Russell will go to 76.4, or 76.4 on the close of the next bar for the stop. And there it is. Nobody's asking questions this morning. Oh, I know what's wrong with these charts. These are not on the bid. And the Russell's trade did just stop out at 76.4. So that should end its session. Let's see if that changes things any. Nope. Second. Still pretty close. Can tell I hadn't used the laptop in a while. I could have sworn I had these on. Oh, that's interesting. Now it says it's 6/10 away. All right. Well, we're down to just the currencies, folks. So unless there are further questions, I am going to leave it with you, I believe. And we will see you tomorrow for the Wednesday session and the crude oil report, crude oil inventory report. Well, good morning, Caitlin. Didn't know you were here. Please do remember to hit the like button. That does help the channel. And have a good afternoon. We will see everybody tomorrow. You have a good one as well, Miles. All right, and we did finally get 2 closes above the balance line on soybeans, so that did cancel the stop and reverse permanently. And as I say that, a new one shows up. Looks like the pound Aussie is going to be going sideways for a little while anyway. And nothing likely coming on the euro yen. So everyone have a good afternoon. We will see you tomorrow.